And since October 17, Iranian proxies have carried out at least 90 attacks against U.S. forces in various parts of the Middle East, clearly indicating how other Arab countries are clearly united on the side of the Palestinians. And GOP legislators in Congress are hitting on U.S. President Joe Biden for being too soft against Iran and her allies. VOA's congressional correspondent Catherine Gibson tells us more.
Just days after Iranian-backed Houthi rebels attacked the U.S. in the Red Sea, Iran's foreign minister warning the U.S. over its policy in Gaza Tuesday.
An uncontrollable and unpredictable explosion could take place at any time. This is what the Americans haven't realized until today. And if they don't realize it soon, the consequences will strongly affect the United States.
On Capitol Hill, Republican lawmakers saying the Biden administration's policies have encouraged Iranian aggression.
Iran has been emboldened to throw its weight around the Middle East from Yemen to Gaza, with it or its proxies directly attacking U.S. military sites and warships essentially without consequence.
Republicans criticized the Biden administration's deal to unfreeze $6 billion in assets earlier this year in return for the release of 5 hostages.
When this government releases money to Iran or relaxes the enforcement of sanctions, it is funding the very terror operations directed against the Iranian people, the people of Israel, and someday soon, I am afraid, against the people of the United States.
The No Funds for Iranian Terrorism Act, freezing that $6 billion transfer, passed with bipartisan support in the U.S. House.
If, God forbid, Iran gets an advantage, the government gets an advantage by seizing an American hostage, after those hostages are released, we should try to take away the advantage they got. This is not a legitimate deal when Americans are held hostage.
Lawmakers said protests led by Iranian women show that regime change will ultimately come from within the country.
The women of Iran in particular need to be called out for their bravery, for their vision, and for their willingness to stand up for not only their future, but for freedom of every Iranian.
U.S. lawmakers reintroduced H.R. 100 on Tuesday, expressing the U.S. Congress's support for a democratic, secular, and non-nuclear Iran. Catherine Gibson, VOA News.